Yo, 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 welcome to this special show for the GameFace launch event finals. Bit of money involved in this one, and the two teams playing for it are Perilous versus Play. I'm joined by Crossy, who's going to be doing the casting for this one, and I'm going to guest cast with Crossy tonight. How you doing, Mark?
Yeah, I am not doing too bad. Always seems like there's never enough time to get things ready, but no, it's all good. We're professionals, we can make this happen.
I saw the veto quickly, and I found out a little bit about this game. It's one map, potentially, if Play win this. They've come through the upper bracket finals, and these two teams have met before, and I think it was a round 4 game. Play 16-0'd Perilous.
Yeah, that was a little bit grim, you could say. It's not setting the scene for a long, epic best-of-3 encounter here, but you never know, we've had surprises. And Perilous have been a team that have been sort of around the top end of a couple of the sort of largely UK-based leagues, Enemy Down, UNGL, and now GameFace, which is starting to build up a bit of momentum and going nicely. So these guys have got a stack load of experience, and they're kind of getting quite used to winning these kind of competitions. So, and I'm sure they won't get absolutely rolled over, all fingers crossed.
Well, this is a game where both teams will need to rise to the occasion. I did a bit of research on the Steam profiles of these players as well, the ones which were viewable. I could see that the players hadn't really been playing too much recently. Around 10 to 20 hours clocked up in the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the 20 hours was on Dota 2 for Googly. He'd only done 10 hours on CSGO, so let's see how they get on today. I'd like to say a few things about the GameFace action here. I'm hoping to put on a show to give the game a cast that this final deserves. It's been a really good first bit of action from GameFace. They've got the systems in place there with the anti-cheat, bespoke anti-cheat system, Rapiro, and loads of tools on the site to allow players to find out stuff and keep involved in the action. Above all, it just functions really well. So if you're looking for some action, GameFaceLeague.com.
Yeah, really good stuff. And bringing you bits of the action from GameFace, and we'll be looking to keep that going. And a lot of thanks to Mixer for helping me out. Anyone that's seen it will know that my internet connection is terribad, and I do get rinsed for the quality of my streams when I do put them up. But it's good to have someone that does have some half-decent internet and is willing to help bring us the action.
No problem. I was going to try and do it in 1080, but it's only sort of stable with high motion games in about 24 FPS. So I've knocked it down to 720. 45 FPS for now. I'll keep an eye on chat. If there is any feedback during the game, I might make some more changes, but I'm pretty confident this will be fine. It's toned quite down from what PC is capable of. The only issue may be spectators, people tuning in, if they've got problems with their net their side. So just F5 if you are getting lag before you mention it in chat, please. Players warming up then. Who have we got actually identified so far? Any people we're not recognising here? So I recognise most of them here.
There's 4 players from Play that I don't recognise, but
well, I only recognise them from their roster. Yeah, I couldn't tell you who they were really on their histories and stuff.
No, I haven't seen any of this Play team in action, so it could be interesting. They've also got some pedigree with how their early results have gone, including against Perilous, who I've watched a hell of a lot of over the last 6 months or so. Google is the only name that I do recognise. Back in Counter-Strike Source was part of the Dignitas organisation for a while, and to be honest, I feel sorry for anyone that's been part of the Dignitas Counter-Strike Source team, because being part of that organisation, there's a certain level that's expected of you, and trying to think of when there was a Dignitas Counter-Strike team that met that same expectation, it really is tough. But then again, it's a pretty tough game to get involved in. So
It's good to see the players still playing though, and we're live. This is first round kicking off now. Knife round. I reckon it's a knife round actually. Yeah, here we go. So it's all going to happen at long. Crossy's going to get the honours of pistol round casting. I'm going to do the comedy round here. I haven't got the Benny Hill tune lined up for this one, unfortunately. As we go to auto director, it's a 2v2. There's a bit of gunfire there. No targets hit though. A little bit of a fake out. And C-Play get to make the call.
quite happy to stay on the terrace side. Unsurprising, really. T-side of Dust 2 has been the arguably easier side for a number of years now, and a couple of incarnations of Counter-Strike. Going to be all about the aggressive plays and who can make the picks. Does seem to see the odd mid battle between two AWPers as much like you used to, but there's still going to be maybe a little bit of that. And just seeing how things are setting up so far, and we've got all players spread about the map a little bit. Fairly standard setup. 2 players round about the B area. Got 2 down long and 1 just holding onto the site. Be interesting to see if Raz decides to go a bit more aggressive on short later on into the game. 3 players setting up for C-Play, making their way onto short. DeBase has been taken down to 3 HP in the meantime, so he's around in the B area. I think he might have stepped into mid and got a bit of action there, and that's why he's down to such low HP. Bomb up on short area, about a minute left to play in this first round. And it looks like C-Player just hanging around, see if there's any kind of commitments. Spam going into long, but no actual commitment coming in. And Raz gets a nice spot on the site, takes down Aramik. Biohazard firing straight in, taking down Speedy G over towards the B site, and Raz goes down as well. Debaser is 3 HP, so he's going to be an easy scalp for one of these players. And looks like Debaser is going to get some action in the lower tunnels, trying to make something happen, but he's got the weaker pistol, and he's got 2 C-Play players he's got to find. So 4v2, 30 seconds left to go on the clock. Bomb making its way into the site. Got Maltby and Al, the 2 brothers, for Perilous. No, we haven't, because Styler just goes and rips Maltby's face off, making good use of the Glock. Al's caught just throughout the A site, and it is going to be first round going to C-Play.
I had some great fun playing with the numbers there to bring you the directing. Followed most of the action pretty tidy. I'm going to take this round, pistol round. I want to see how the eco gets played. There's no guns being bought from Perilous, so they're pretty disciplined. It's going to be a bit of a push short for the aggressive boost, straight into the styler. And as C-Play continue to work short, it's all over too quickly. So now this is the round where I want to see the surprise buy, hopefully. Let's see if they keep it cheap.
Keeping it very cheap by the looks of things, and just sticking with our pistols. Still going for the old school setup of running and going for 3 ecos, or no, 3 ecos if you lose that first pistol. So the buy is going to be coming in next round instead. You could argue that maybe with things changing and balance shifting in the direction of terrorists, maybe a more aggressive play is needed. Biohazard, even though he's taken down to 22 HP and did catch a nade as part of that, does get speedy as he tries to get aggressive. Al's down on 1 HP. Raz has been taken down to 31 as well. And Bomb has quite comfortably made its way into the B site, almost uncontested, so they get the plant down, and we'll be looking to hold this one out fairly comfortably. Googly's picked up the P90, good choice of weapon, 50 bullets, very little recoil, and $2,350. It's an economy buy as well. Maltby does manage to get Biohazard, but Googly manages to mop up Debaser in the meantime. 4v1, all down to Maltby. What's he got left in the tank? Well, he's got an AK in hand, got plenty of action outside of the tunnels, and with C-Play players all holding automatic weapons, are able to grab him fairly comfortably, and that is going to be 3-0.
So there's a P90 dropped, and they have upgraded across the board for C-Play. 2 AWPs for Perilous. Not too sure where those AWPs are going to go into for now. Not checking the mid picks. Going to roll with auto director. And first contact, it's short there. Malt's pretty deep. Biohazard stepping in late. He didn't really have the advantage. C-Play do look for the A split still though, with 4 players going long. And there's the AWP up on quad. begins to get them as they approach top of ramp. Now Perilous have had time to rotate. They have the whole of the rest of the map under their control. 3 Ts tucked up on A site, spread out looking for some cheeky picks. And they do even it up, 3-all now. Bomb isn't quite down, and Raz is pushing up, plus crossover. A quick retake without the plant. So the money starts to get mixed up now. Let's try and track it.
Yeah, C-Play's still got the cash to throw in a buy here. But interesting setup from Perilous, and I like it. They got an AWP up short, which always looks a little bit strange. Al didn't actually manage to crack off a shot, but with Maltby there backing him up. And then, as you say, the map was isolated. The only route where C-Play were working was in the long area. And from rotates coming in behind, it's really tough when you're bedded in that site and you've got people swarming all around you to really lock that down. So good stuff from Perilous. I'll be glad to get that first round on the board as early as they can here after dropping the pistol and the customary next 2. Still a fairly slow build up, so we're going to move into the final minute of this 5th round. As Aramik comes out on top with his opening pick, so that's Raz going down. Al fires straight back and grabs him. Raz did tag him down to less than half HP, but wasn't quite enough, so advantage C-Play in that little exchange. Debasa manages to get over Fly in the meantime. 4v3 then, favouring the CTs. Got action going into B though, that's where the bomb is. Googly's got himself to car, has been called there, and Biohazard manages to get 2 with a little bit of an assist from Googly on one of them. So bomb is going to get planted, and from 4v3 it is now 3v2 in favour of the terrorists. Bomb planted and ticking away in the site. Going to see the standard pincer movement as Maltby manages to grab Styler, who got a little bit too aggressive at the window. Maybe should have stayed in there. Biohazard gets his 3rd of the round, leaving it all down to Maltby, last man standing. What can he do? If he gets that flash and pushes out through the doors quickly, he might be able to get both of them. He's got 1. Where's the 2nd? That's Googly on the site. Maltby fakes the defuse, and he's got the frag. He could have this one. It's close, but he's got it, and Perilous rack up 2 on the spin. Really nice work from Maltby, and a good retake there. He's up against it, and he came out on top.
They're using the clock. They are using the clock here, playing these rounds slowly, spreading out, feeling the areas, knowing where they can get to before the choke points. And although there's been some aggression from Perilous at long, they don't necessarily need to hold it that strong unless they continue to do this technique of holding short from long. It does leave them with the long rotation to B though, as we see T's burst out of mid, and this is where Perilous could get caught out at long. If T's make it into B and get the plant, they got plenty of time to set up in positions. Okay, 3v2, and they do have an AWP in play. Aramik there with a good pick on the rotators from mid. He's aggressive window. Googly getting action tunnel. Malt's coming in now and is get on board with Aramik as he does get the pick from tunnel. Knows there's pressure from window and door. It's not coming at the right time though, and he's back into a 1v1 situation. He's timed it really well, looking for the head. He didn't have a gun in hand though. He might have been lucky to loot something there, but Al comes in. Gets the defuse, 3-all, and they did get past the 16-0, and they're looking like this could go the distance.
Yeah, Perilous looking really solid here, and I've seen this on more than one occasion for them on Dust 2, where they just seem to be quite together with it. They've got the right plan. They've got a few different tactics on CT side, which is always quite a frustrating situation trying to lock things down. Debasa might have some action here on the fast mid, and he does try and get a kill, and does manage to get Biohazard after a little bit of a juggle, really, with his mouse. Speedy's in the sight with the AWP. He's got 1. He misses the second chance of the player around about the big box. He's got pistol out, switching back, so he's got a player right around him that could cause some trouble, and Aramik does get him. Debasa in there though, backing him up nicely, and good work. So 4 versus 1. AWP goes down, that's Styler's AWP going down, so fairly expensive round coming in from C-Play, and Perilous with that take their first lead, 4-3. And
the money's being controlled now by C-Play. They've lost 4 in a row. They will be getting enough to do a bye, but they do need to make sure that when they start winning, they keep winning. A lot of action at long here, stuff kicking off at long. And we do have a solo player, a bit of a ninja going on lower B with Biohazard. And as they spread out again and look for the weak players pushing from Perilous, they're not to be found. So it's going to be a lot of calls on Perilous comms here about the A play from C play. But they haven't decided to push up through upper B. They've rotated passively back, down, through outside mid. Debaser does push up through mid. He's caught out by Biohazard. As the play now has actually exploded up at long, and they've made it up onto long on site. Long plant coming in, and a save. So all of a sudden, Perilous on the back foot, but this could really work to their advantage if they win the next round. Let's see who goes hunting. Bit of a wall hack option there, he looked right at him. Let's hope Rapiro's running on all of the players still. Might have been lucky I tuned in at the right time there. Overfly with the X-ray potential there. 4-all.
And it's a very tense encounter. I like the way Perilous played that. They had all 3 of their players down along where the action was coming from, dropped back to site, kept hold of the angles, but they just got outpicked, and that's something they're going to have to watch out for. And it seems like C-Play do have the skill advantage against these Perilous players who do rely on their experience and their time together as a unit at times. Not that it's done them too much harm, to be honest, but sometimes if you've got another effective team at just making the frags at the key point, then that can make all the difference. A frag been traded each way, Speedy G going down, Biohazard going down for C-Play. And so those are frags on the board for Biohazard and for Debaser, respectively. Match finally in the balance here as we've got Overfly trying to make something happen at the mid doors, where Raz is kind of hanging around short. Not getting too aggressive yet. He's got Debaser backing him up in the mid. They're not going to have any action there, though, because it's now making its way towards long. Al could get himself in a bit of trouble as he's got himself below sight. We'll be seeing this happening. He's got Maltby to back him up, and these guys really just want to sit in here. Raz trying to long range with a shotgun. That's ambitious. There is a chance for Perilous here, because they've got 2 players on low HP. Debaser gets a couple. With the shotgun, so he's already racked himself up a 3-man. Maltby just hiding by quad boxes. Does step out now, and didn't quite time that right, but he did have 2 players on half HP that could have been right for the picking. I think if he had a rifle in his hand, he might have taken that one.
Not bad for a double shotgun eco there. 2 Novas in play. Speedy did have low money, but he's obviously been trading up and organising trades for guns, AWP in hand. There's not been many mid picks, I don't want to jinx it, but Smoke's always going in at mid, locking off that line of sight. Trade 1 for 1 at long now, was it? Bomb is hanging around at long, and we have short, Overfly's pushing up short, traded again as the backup's not near enough. Biohazard now late up short. They've engaged from long, caused a distraction, so the CT's look to long, short is then open. Maybe the delay worked in his favour. Site is now clear, and we're left with Speedy G again on the possible eco. He's looking for the picks on crossover though, manages to get 1, not the bomber. 2 up on site, and now he needs to decide, is he going to rotate long or short? He may know that there's no AWP in play from the other team, so waiting for the smoke to clear. Timing worked out for him. Closing down ground fast, pushes on, that's a big kill. But the footsteps heard, the team disciplined on comms, not making any noise, letting the play hear, and he heard him.
Wasn't quite there to be had, that one, but unlucky, and a good effort from Perilous and from Speedy G trying to pull things together for his team. Something I'm noticing from Perilous is that they seem to be struggling with the push up to short. They're not making those shots. It is tough to kill someone from short because you've only got the head and the shoulders to aim for. You can't really get away with the spray. As we've got action in mid as Styler and Aramik get frags. Googly and Biohazard get one as well. So Debate's the last man standing. Let's get on board with him outside of the B site. And I think Perilous' lack of activity recently is starting to show because they are struggling with those short shots. C-Play are getting a big advantage there. And they may well be looking to turn the screw in that kind of area and work some more A-splits in the coming rounds.
There was an eco fast push short there from Perilous, so they had a bit of strength in the first few rounds after the eco, and now Perilous seem to have just struggled a bit the last couple of rounds. C play strong B, and they do have the mid split. Overfly gets taken down at mid though. The rotate's coming in fast. 2 players outside. Maltby's deep though. That's just what happens when you play deep at long A and the T's rush fast to B. Then you get caught out of position with a lot of distance to cover. And your team gets there before you. You have to make them wait. They do push 2 upper B. As we see Raz injuring at the window there for a second. Tunnel spam does take out Malt though, with some cheeky peek and kill, but he needs to fall back both plays. He probably knows they're both low as well and tagged, but he can't get the kills and get the defuse, so he's looking for the exit kills. It's all pretty hot and heavy here, but tick and it's over. So 8-4 down, Perilous. They really need to get an eco on the go, perhaps do some shotguns here. They can't afford a full buy.
No, if they can get to 9-6 somehow and work it that way, they should be alright. Or they've at least got some potential. Nice work from Speedy as he gets an opening pick, grabbing Styler. I had a really cracking point then. It's just completely slipped my mind. That's bad times. But Al manages to use the CT pistol to get a headshot. You don't see too many of those these days, especially not in buy round. But we are seeing action now onto the A side. Debaser gets one with a shotgun. That's Googly going down. I really do not know how he's just made that shot, but he has. Al manages to get Aramik, and Al picks up another frag there down at the lower site. So Perilous managed to take it to 8-5. If they can get 8-7, they've got to be feeling pretty confident about this.
2 AKs in play from the last round. 2 Colts up and an AWP. 1 AWP from C play. Styler just AWPing. The rest of C play do have a good idea here with the AKs. Keep moving fast, get around the map, cover the ground. Perilous aggressive long again. Perhaps working a little boost here. The smoke is in. That gives you so much time with the smoke. It's suicide pushing out the smoke the way it is at the moment. As we see Biohazard perhaps doing it here versus Speedy, but he knows not to push too far to show. T's grouping up at mid. There's a couple of different plays they could spring from here. It all depends how they manage to work their nades and flashes. They have gone through mid, and they can now push up through upper B. Biohazard will make a little distraction as they come in through window. And Malt B look at this again. Late at long. So from here 5v2, it's not even going to be worth leaving this area, no. They're just going to hold the pit, plan the next round. So let's find out who's hunting. Aramik pushing up to crossover, clearing his angles quite aggressively. He's got back up to make the trade with Styler here. And all of a sudden, it's last round of the first half. And can they afford? It looks like Perilous might need to juggle a gun here, maybe go budget.
That'll be alright. El's sitting there with 8k at the top, he'll be alright. The only thing you could comment, it's a bit like when you see me at the top of the scoreboard, when you see Al there, it's a little bit worrying. You've got to ask questions about what the rest of the team is doing. A little bit surprising the way that things have turned out here in that regard, at least. But still, if Perilous can get a 6th round here, then they'll set themselves up in good stead. It won't be an absolute whitewash, and they do have some good stuff to work on, Terrace side, from what I've seen before. Raz gets one to base, so doing nice work with the shotgun. Kind of been tied down to it. He's not had too much cash to play with, which is why that buy has been going in. And something which is starting to become more common in Go in comparison to the other versions of Counter-Strike is the cheap buys and the use of shotguns and SMGs. And just to reflect the change in the tactics, as Maltby has a bit of an encounter with Biohazard and doesn't get tagged down to very much at all. Styler with the AWP manages to grab Al in the meantime. Maltby's got another frag, and Raz does mop up. So 9-6, I think Perilous will be quite happy with that one, and they're setting themselves up nicely for the second half.
Yeah, after losing pistol, you take off that pistol and 2 eco rounds and it's 6-all. And also, if Perilous can get the Glock advantage, or use the Glock advantage and get the pistol round here, it'll possibly bring it straight back to 9-all with the rest of the second half to play. So it's pretty even, all depending on this. Oh, big pick from Chimera there, as he's aggressive mid. Let's tidy up the scoreboard and stuff here. And keep on board with him. He might be able to get a 5-man here. This would be a pretty dirty round if he can. It's a little bit early for that, but he does have the opening kill. Maltby has been tagged as well at mid, and Nays down. Let's get back on board with Chimera. Running out of buttons to press here. Okay, and that's back to long. So he's now rotated from mid to long. There was that pick, so he had the call. 2 crossed up onto crossover. Overplay takes the 5-man with a pick on Owl, crossing crossover. Chimera passive. Now he's going for the peak. As the bomb's planted. And it's all clear, ready for the defuse. So Pistol has gone C-Play's way, which means Perilous now need to really get some surprises on the go. Possible cheeky buy here with the plants. Certainly if they can get the plant next round on an eco, then it's all going to go into kick off. So
a little bit of a head in the hands moment if you're a Perilous fan watching that, though. I mean, that first shot, that first frag was just... there are no words. But from that point, it just seemed like the whole Perilous plan had fallen to pieces and they'd just spread out and didn't really commit to anything. When, really, Terra's pistol is all about just hitting somewhere en masse with armour, using your advantage with the Glocks, which they didn't take, and now C-Play are going to be trying to piggyback through and take the next couple of rounds and put themselves in a 12-6 advantage. And they've lost a couple, but with Styler grabbing Owl there and leaving it as a 3v1, which is very quickly finished off into a 3v0. It's a little bit too easy for C-Play, and they'll be quite happy to rack up a couple of rounds here and take it into the first buy versus buy.
this may be the moment where it crosses their mind that they not only need to win this game, but they still need to do it on another map. And if that road looks too wrong for them, they're not going to be able to long for them. They're not going to be able to bring it back. So the buy is in for 4 AKs and an AWP from Perilous. AWP is playing long. I'd rather see him at mid waiting for the rotators. Debaser hasn't got action though at upper B. And that's from C-Play pushing lower, I guess. Maybe an upper, lower convergence. Bomb is dropped up in Longhouse with Speedy G or Ping. There's a tasty little blue crate jump here to make sure the pit's safe. So they're well aware that Long A can be held aggressively, but passively. Once you get in position, you can then hide up a ninja there. They're taking no chances, Perilous. C-Play up on site. They probably know that the action's happening at A, but they don't want to over-rotate too quickly. It's happening now though, with the calls that Perilous are halfway up long. And if they can get the squeeze with 30 seconds on the clock and keep it locked, this is going 12-6. Debaser now, the smoke is in. The smoke was a little bit late on crossover. There were kills behind though from the rotators, and we see a 2v2 with the bomb up on site and players coming in from short and spawn ramp retaken.
Raz didn't choose the best time to look behind to long. Let's put it that way. And I think they would have called that guy that was sort of around the smoke and below sight. So I'm a little unsure why he will have looked away there. If anything, if you're worried about long, you just move to a different spot on the site. You could have used that smoke that was down as cover from long. So a little bit strange, a slightly mistimed look, and that could have changed the whole complexion of this game if it was 11-7 rather than 12-6. Seeing Perilous go for a nice, ambitious eco push into B, and that's going to be cut down fairly comprehensively, and that's exactly what we see. A lot of the time, the setup now is that the mid player will hang more round about the B area so they can jump in and back up and help with that. And if it's guns against pistols, it is just going to be a cut down like we just saw there.
Well, let's keep an eye on Speedy G with the AWP here. He needs this big pick on him crossing mid. No smoke from C play. He misses the pick, 2 players across, no tag either. C play pushing up long and short. And look at this, Styler already up short to lower B. Gets a cheeky shot on Raz, who's possibly not ready to see the guy there. And as C play begin to set up a holding pattern for their half of the map, they know where's clear as Biohazard pushes long, and we see Perilous split on B, taken down at mid. Last 2 players coming in from upper B onto site. There's double coverage from door and window as they burst out of tunnel, take down the door player. Googly's down. 1 player left on site with the last 2 rotating in. Sorry, last 3 rotating in, and that's it. Not enough ground made up with enough players to take the site, and you can't really plant it on your own with 4 players coming in.
No, it would have been ambitious if he barreled into the site with 3 players aiming their iron sights in his direction. Chose not to go for it quite wisely. Speedy G makes that opening pick this time as he gets Aramis, because he tried to step through into the mid area and get aggressive, so that hasn't gone well. And this could be a chance for Perilous to start opening up and getting a couple of rounds on the board. Already got the numerical advantage. I'm going to play it a bit slower now, quite wisely. Don't want to overcommit to something. If Debaser tries to go through into long, got a player behind the door that's overflying. It's a favourite spot of mine, that, and you can usually get away with it 1 or 2 times a game, so that could work well. Hasn't been sitting there before, so won't have been spotted there. Could be an action. And he's got 3 players that might decide to push long here. They are setting up outside of there, so could be a big one. Might be well worth watching. Google, in the meantime, drops through into lower and manages to get Al, who is making his way slowly onto short. Overfly, instead of sitting in his position, did commit and pushed onto that. Speedy G manages to grab Biohazard as he makes his way to try and cut down that long approach. Still got Styler though. He is at the cars, and Maltby comes in very nicely up on the short to back up. Googly comes in behind, so it's a 1v1 then. Maltby with it all to do, and if Perilous don't win this, then they will be ruining Maltby, not getting up short a little bit earlier, because Styler was able to get a couple from cars. Nice work finding the head though. Great control of the AK at a very tense, very crucial point of that game, and Perilous is still hanging on for dear life here.
I think Googly wanted to hatch the bomb there. He stayed really close to it. He did get a good spot on the guy, and it was a good nade. But some serious AWP kills from Styler there. 2 quick, cheeky peeks. Very well played. Unlucky not to win the round there. It's good to see Perilous still in this. And it still can go overtime, but there will have to be a result from this. So even at 15, it's not over. Another slow play. We see a player lower B, Maltby, perhaps in position to look for rotators. Although the aggression's not really coming A either. Pick from Speedy. And that was really aggressive from Chimera last round. Really cheeky to try and push into low B. And you'd argue that it was his fault they lost that round, C-play. It's down to a 3v3 though. Speedy G does get tagged. All happening at mid. Lots of spam through the mid door. Who sat just on the tight right there? He can hear them going to upper B, so calls have been put in as we see Googly go fast into B. He's now rooted his position on back of site and can hide up if needed. He's seen a player poaching. Backup's coming in now, 3v3, and it's all happening. B, tunnel, exit, no chance of ninjas or rotators or anything. Perilous, strong arm it, and with the better angle, I'd argue, slight height advantage. It's minimal, but the spammable door as well, that's given them that round.
A couple of rounds on the spin for Perilous then, that's got to be helping things, and previous I-Series Grand finalist Debaser was doing the job there as he smashed through and picked up a couple of frags on the way into the B site. I managed to push C-Play down onto a pistol, and they're going to be looking to piggyback through and grab this one as comfortably as they can. Got to be wary though that they don't get themselves into a position where there are going to be 4 players aiming at them, like if they push down long, which might not go too well for them. Maltby though, he has got to play onto B. If he goes and walks in, he will see that that area is completely empty and they can bring the bomb in and get the plant. I guess that's what they're holding out for here, C-Play, just hoping that they wouldn't go and make their play into B. And I think this could work out really well because the base is making his way up onto short. Could be interesting how this one plays out. Just less than a minute left to go. Go get on board with Debaser. We're seeing Aramek pull off some ridiculous shots with a pistol. Has he got another one in his locker? Debaser walking slowly. Alan Maltby coming up short. We're going to see a full-on short push, and C-Play could have lucked out here. They could have the perfect opportunity to cut down a full Perilous buy if they get this onto the site. And it's underway. Debaser's going to be first to get action down long. Spots one. Debaser gets the shot though. Nice work. Overfly pushes in, and Aramek manages to stop the plant. So this could be a sick play from C-Play. A bit of action. Maltby does spot Styler, who boosted up onto a spot I have not seen before on top of one of those windows. Just crouched behind that red sign, and that was really effective. Al's typing that's a new spot. He hasn't seen that one before. I think Perilous, if they do start to put a bit more time into their Counter-Strike, will be practicing that boost without too much hesitation. And Biohazard just sitting around by the fun box in mid, going to let the timer tick away. Does get one actually as Maltby goes and tries to escape the site. So nice exit frag. Just trying to keep the Perilous money as low as they can. And that's a couple of rounds on the bounce, taking it to 14-9.
Now we may see a bit of gun juggling here, depending who needs to get the AWP. But the money was only just enough for C-Play to buy. And as all the shots do come at mid, and they're bouncing around at mid. Just going back to the last round, there's a really nice shot, really nice position actually, and good shooting from Perilous to take out the guy stacked there. What I did see though was Debaser as he pushed up short. He'd cleared up short, and he actually did a 180 to check behind him at the quad. I don't know why he was looking back there. That's one of those other maps he's been playing, a bit of public, some Dust Forever or something crazy. And it's looking like it's a bit of ninja going on. They're very close to each other at Long House here, and it's all going to burst. Traded at Long House. The call does come in. Bomb not spotted. Raz picks up 2 though as the help comes in. Styler moves to first corner at Long. And Overfly now has to push up onto A site to hold it. Cheeky shots for the double on Pit as Speedy G drops into the pit, gets a headshot. And we see Debaser and Maltby left up on short as they're pushing through. 3 players have gone. Actually, have called the bomb. 2 players have gone to cover the bomb at Long. It must have been Speedy who dropped it in there when he got picked. And Googly is now coming up behind for the rotate. And if they get spotted up at A ramp, he can push straight in now fast. He's not worried about the noise he makes, but they've caught him. So it's into a 2v2. And yes, there was perhaps no distraction from Pit and Long there as Googly came up, so a bit of miscommunication perhaps as Debaser pushes up and takes out Aramek, but the time has gone and Overfly saw that and rotated off it. And what a round to get. They really had to push that one to get that.
Yeah, but they do walk away with it, and that is all that matters. So draw is guaranteed. We're either going to see overtime or we're going to see this thing concluded right here during the first map. Googly's had a couple of opportunities where he's come in behind and trying to make something happen, which is good in theory, as frags are traded one each way. A bit of action as Debaser goes down, and I think he's absolutely nailed someone, and they do pick him up in the end. But plenty of action going on in the tunnels. Overfly manages to grab Raz, who's down on 4 HP anyway. Not a whole lot he could have done. 2v2. All-important round. Speedy going over the back. Both of them going over the back. And if they move fast here, this could work out well for them, because both players have moved towards the B site. Speedy did have an opportunity to spam through long doors, but that's a tough shot for anyone to make at that kind of distance. I know Aramit's come off with one miracle shot today, but I don't think we'll be seeing too many others, as Starlet manages to grab Speedy. So, all down to Owl then. 2v1. Fighting for their life in this GameFace Launch Cup event. Al gets flashed off onto the site. He's got both players dropping down long. Again, just protecting the bomb, dropped in the same kind of area. One in the pit, always a tough shot to make as Al drops off. So 20 odd seconds left to go. He's going to make for the push. Got that player in pit to worry about. Got the one to the right. He's flashed off. Surprised he's even still alive here, to be honest. Trying to get that shot in the pit. Doesn't manage to do it. And C-Play come away with a victory.
What a round. Now C-Play almost threw that away. They were messing around in T-spawn. They didn't have anyone spotting mid. They were messing around in T-spawn. And they get caught out. And they got outnumbered. Or basically they got into a firefight from lower B to upper B. And the two players messing around in spawn with the bomb weren't there in time, weren't ready to help. They did do a bit of a cheeky rotate, Perilous. After going A side, they did get spotted crossing to A side there on that last round, but unfortunately they got spotted, and that meant C-Play rotated nicely. Styler had a really good shot actually, to a really good kill, and then yeah, once they had position with the bomb, there was nothing. Well, it was really difficult to bring it back. So there it is then. We have a result. Congratulations to C-Play. Wrapped it up in one game on Dust 2.
Yeah, I think we're all expecting that was going to happen. But we're looking forward to seeing a bit of a game of it. And Perilous had a good step out. It wasn't another 16-0 whitewash. And I think for the Perilous players, they were fearing the worst out of this thing, judging by one or two of the messages I got from them. But they put a good account of themselves in. And these guys are usually in or around the top end of this kind of competition. So good to see them in action once more. I think if it wasn't Dust 2, it might have favoured them a little better, because there's more than a few occasions when C-Play just seemed to have that extra edge when it came down to individual play and clicking heads. So, maybe a little more time in the practice for Perilous, and it could have been a different story. We could have seen it go on to the second map.
Yeah, you could see Perilous perhaps a bit unorganised at the end there in that last round, as I say. So it may have got to them a bit more than it did affect C-Play. But it was that moment in the first half where they did look like they were going to match C-Play, kill for kill and round for round, and take it a distance. But C-Play just took it to the next level, I guess. They had the extra gear to be able to run round and just maintain the momentum. There was an eco play that came in from from C-Play, and Perilous were just so passive against the eco. They did manage to get the round, but this is what happens when a team's so aggressive and then they switch gear. The other team doesn't know, and they waste so much time on the clock. They put their nades in the wrong place because the choke points are different. And it's just by being aggressive you can try and control the way the other team plays. And both teams always try to deliver that aggression, but it's who can maintain it. And C-Play won it today with that aggression, domination on the positions. Well played. Congratulations to Ghoulies team and the other guys. And thank you for everyone tuning in. Actually, it was really active in chat. Good show. Nice one, guys. We hope we can provide some more coverage from GameFace or similar action in the near future.